Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here to share with you guys a couple of early reader chapter books that we are loving, so stay tuned. First of all, I would like to thank you all so much for joining me today, and thank you to all of those who have followed me on bookstagram. I just passed 100 follows, and I know in the grand scheme of things that may not seem a lot, but I am so thankful. And I think it's amazing that there's 100 people that are looking at my photos and following along with what I post. So if you would like to do the same, you can go on over to @MoonlightBookReviews and see what I am posting about and get some book photo inspiration and see what I am reading and maybe get some ideas about what you can read next. Okay, so my daughters are currently 5 and 6 years old, and we love reading picture books with them. And my oldest can read on her own, but she's still kind of on the lower end as far as like if a book is for ages 5 to 9, she's still kind of learning some of those bigger words in a book like that. So I'm going to show you a couple of early readers that say they are for ages 5 to 9, but I still read these out loud to my kids, and my oldest can read some of it on her own, and she will eventually be reading them independently. But we have enjoyed these stories. They're simple enough that an early reader could read them alone, and also simple enough that a child with a short attention span who doesn't read yet can follow along and enjoy the stories, and I enjoy reading them. So these are our current favorites for early readers. The first one is called The Kingdom of Renly, and this is by Jordan Quinn. The illustrations in these books are super cute, and they are definitely very simply written. They have a cute plot and character development, but again, it's meant to be entertaining while also being simple enough for an early reader to read alone. It is kind of short and sweet, but that is important, I think, when you're first getting kids engaged in chapter book reading, especially reading on their own. You want it to move along quickly, be easy to read, not waste a lot of time on anything. And so my daughter enjoyed reading part of this herself, and then the rest of it we read out loud to her, and it's a really cute story. So I'll read the back for you. It says, 8-year-old Prince Lucas is lonely and wishes he could play with the other children in the kingdom. He is also eager to explore all the lands of Renly. When his mother loses her prized emerald pendant, Lucas finally gets his chance. Will Lucas and his friend Clara be able to find the precious jewel and claim the king's reward? So this was really cute, but I also feel like it was a bit of an introduction into Lucas and Clara's friendship beginning. So I think some of the other books might jump into the action a little bit quicker than this one, but we haven't gotten any further yet. This is the first book in the series, and we enjoyed it, and I definitely want to get the next one. So for this one, I definitely give it a 4 out of 5 stars and recommend it for a 5 to 9-year-old. I would even say maybe a 5 to 7-year-old. It just depends on what your kids like to read and what their reading level is. Definitely 5 to 9, but I feel like on the younger side of that, as far as engagement and as far as the simplicity of the wording. So I feel like 7 is kind of spot on, but that just depends on if your 7-year-old is even reading. Some 7-year-olds are, some aren't. So the age range definitely stands. I just feel like it might be on the younger side of that, depending on what you're looking for. So the next series is a series that is our favorite series as far as early reader chapter books, and we have been reading this for a while now. We're 8 books into the series. We just finished the 8th book, and we're so excited to get the next one. This is one that I thoroughly enjoy reading to them. Like, I want to know what happens next just as much as they do, and it keeps us reading because there's just enough of a cliffhanger at the end of every chapter to make you want to know what happens next. And I think that is the mark of a 5-star book for sure in this early reader chapter category, because You have to be able to say a lot, but say it simply and say it in easy to read wording, and just keep it engaging and interesting and not boring, while still trying to keep it age appropriate as far as the reading level goes. So the series I am referring to is the Adventures of Sophie Mouse series by Poppy Green. Like I said, this is the 8th book in the series, A Surprise Visitor. So I'll just read the synopsis for this one. You do not have to read them in order, though they do sort of lay a bit of groundwork for some of her friendships and how they came about in the earlier books. So I would recommend starting from the beginning, just so you know who everyone is, but you don't have to. When a bird makes a crash landing onto her roof, Sophie gets a surprise visitor. Can she help mend the bird's wings so he can return home? So this was a really cute one. Sophie is a mouse that loves to paint. So all throughout the whole series, she's documenting different scenes and things that happen to her in her paintings, and that's woven into the story, her interest for painting. So if you have an artistic child, that's definitely a fun thing that they can relate to. Sophie learns things like how to be a good friend and how to be a good hostess. She learns how to try her best and how to be a good big sister. And so I love all the little nuggets that we get from this while still just enjoying a really good story. Her best friends are Hattie and Owen, and they are a frog and a snake. They actually don't make an appearance in this book, but her friendship and the adventures and things that they go on together in the other books is really cute. And her mom runs the bakery in their little forest town, and so it's just a really kind of cute, cozy, adventurous series for these early readers, and me and my girls have loved it so far. There are boys in it, so as well, okay, they're not boys, they're all animal creatures, but there are male characters in it, so I feel like a boy could be interested in this as well. I definitely give The Adventures of Sophie Mouse a 5 out of 5 stars. It checks all the boxes, and me and my girls have really enjoyed it. I definitely think they could both be appealing to boys or girls, depending on what it is that your kids like to read. I have been looking into a whole lot of other early chapter books, and I didn't know if I should just shoot off a whole bunch of them at you or wait for another video. There's sort of that category in middle grade. Middle grade is so vast. It's really like that 8 to 12 age range, but it can go even up to 14 a bit, depending on the level of the content in some of those thicker chapter books, some of the ones that I've mentioned before that I like reading. So I would say I want to make a video of some of those younger middle grade books, and I haven't actually read a whole lot of them as far as to my kids, because their attention span is not quite ready for that category of books. I've read some of them myself, and then of course I read some when I was little, or not little, but when I was a kid, and that would kind of fall into the category of like maybe like a Boxcar Children, or even like a Babysitter's Club type of a reading. So if you would like more recommendations from that age bracket, that sort of like 9 to 10-year-old level reading, let me know if that is something that interests you. Leave it in the comments down below, and also let me know what are your favorite early chapter reading books that are in this age 5 to 9 category. What have you and your kids enjoyed? I would love to know, so leave it in the comments down below. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, I welcome you to press subscribe and ring the bell so that you can receive notifications of when I make future videos, and I would love for you to follow along. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you have seen, and stick around, I have plenty more reviews to come. So one last thing, I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Kate France. She is debuting her first novel, and I am so excited for her. I can't wait to read it. I am going to place my order. If you want to check out her Instagram and her YouTube channel, I'll leave her information in the description box below, and you can follow along with her, as well as find out where you can order her new book. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.